Ta, and you're tuned into Life with a Ta. It has been crazy lately, and this is why I have not posted since I'm gonna say July or August. Life has just been crazy. One of my last posts was my cruise to the Western Caribbean, and I kind of wanted to do a follow-up video today. I really want to get back in the groups making videos because I really enjoy them. Kind of give you guys some input or insight onto my life of why I've been out for so long, but life has been crazy. As you can see, my background's changed. Some of you may or may not know that I am a travel nurse, so my life changes about every 3 months. I'm in a new location, new place, and as you see right now, you're facing my kitchen. I really don't know how I'm going to be set up in this house, so you might see my background change here a ton, but this is what we're doing for today. I don't want to make this a long video, but this video is about why I will never cruise again, because cruising is one of the reasons why I've been out from YouTube for so long. So let's just get into it. I believe it was July like 9th through something. We did like an 8-9 day cruise, the Western Caribbean. It involved the Cayman Islands. It involved Belize City, Cozumel, and Roatan, Honduras. Never cruised before. I've traveled a ton, but I've never done a cruise, and I'd always said I wasn't really interested in cruising, to be honest, but I really wanted to relax and get away. So my friend had sold me on the idea of a cruise, and I wanted to do something a little bit more, just a touch more high-end. I didn't want a party environment. I wanted to really just kind of relax. I wanted to be pampered. I wanted a little bougie, and I just wanted to get away, something relaxing, beachy. So we went with Princess Cruise. It was either 8 or 9 day Western Caribbean. And I'm just gonna get into why I will never cruise again, just to get to the point, really. You guys know I keep my notes on my phone. So one of the reasons why I was really excited about cruising was I was told the food was bomb. Like, I had watched a million YouTube videos on cruising. I had asked my friends, and everybody said the food was bomb, especially with Princess Cruises. And for me, food is like one of the #1 things. Like, if the food isn't good, I don't want it. Like, I just don't want it. So I went on this cruise really excited for that. And I have to say, the food was just like okay. So the food was just so okay to the point that every night we were eating almost at a specialty restaurant, which was basically the steakhouse, because everything there was pretty much on point. But the Italian specialty restaurant, the other two were closed down. The main cafeteria was just okay. Like, I could get through it to make it through the end of the cruise to eat it for breakfast and lunch, but there's no way I would give that food anything but just a basic pass. Like, I would never on my own time off be like, oh, let's go eat at the Princess Cruise cafeteria. Just, to me, it was very bland, very basic, just not for me, just like cafeteria food, really. They had bomb chocolate cake. I remember the chocolate cake being really good, but everything else was just very So the food for me was not a seller. It's not a reason why I'd ever go on a cruise again. So that's my opinion. The second one was excursions. I was so excited for the excursions. When I travel, my husband and I are usually out and about, no matter whether we're in New Orleans, we're in Iceland, we're in Europe, we're here. We're usually out and about all day. We like culture, we like history, we like restaurants, food. We're just like exploring what's new, exploring what the locals recommend. And the excursions were just so quick. Like, I felt like by the time we got off the boat, through all the crowds, to the excursions, they were over like that, and then we were back at the boat. It was just like, I had read tons of blogs and watched videos, and a lot of them said, oh, the excursions were so quick, but I underestimated how quick they would be. And on top of that, I would say it's just not a really authentic cultural experience. And for me, one part of traveling is to learn more about the culture, what's going on with the country. And I just felt that the port cities were just catered to tourists. Like, when we did a Grand Reef snorkeling excursion in Belize City, and that went by so quick. Like, I can barely remember. It was fun, but it just went by so fast. And then we were back at the boat. We had so much time left, and you know, they don't give you enough time to really book 2 excursions for the day, so you just are left with 1. So my husband and I were like, okay, let's go to Belize City and let's just like get a piece of the culture. I thought I was gonna get some oxtails, beans and rice, plantains, blah, blah, whatever the cultural, you know, the food to the area was. We got to Belize City, and it was just a manufactured port city for cruise ships for Americans. And it was just the locals don't go there. So they would not visit that port. You know, it was only for people who actually work there. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can find a tiny bit of authenticity here, like food, and everything was like hot dogs, pizza, hamburgers. And I finally asked someone, I was like, can I just get like beans and rice, like chicken, whatever you have? And I was able to get that. So altogether, the food on the cruise ships, if you want an authentic experience, I would not suggest cruising. Motion sickness, everyone was like, okay, the motion sickness is not that bad on a cruise ship. I disagree. We did motion patches, you know, the ones that go behind your ear. We also did Dramamine. I had a huge bottle that like 100 count of Dramamine, and we stayed on top of it. Matthew was pretty okay, but where we were on the ship, and I liked where we were on the ship because we were close to the pool, but it just shook. It just shook all the time while you were in the shower. Like, when we came back from Roatan that night, I was so sick. Like, we had to leave dinner early, and I was like threw up and had to go to bed. And like when I was like sleeping in bed, just like not just trying to go to sleep, the bed was just like shaking, like nonstop. Like the bed was just like shaking, like one of those beds that you put a quarter in Vegas. It was just like, what the hell is happening? I was just like, what is happening? So the shower and the bathroom shook the whole time. The bed shook like once every other night, but it was too much for me. I can't do that. And then pool time. If you do not get up at 8 a.m., walk out to the pool, put a towel down, reserve your chair, you will not have a chair by the pool. I said this in my last video. The pools on the cruise ships are so crowded. They are more crowded than like a pool party in Vegas. Like, it is insane. If you want to just lounge out by the pool for a day that you're on the cruise ship, it's impossible unless it's like a port day where everybody's off the ship and you're the only one left there. Or you get up at the crack of dawn, and that's what Matthew had to do on our last day there. He got up at like 5 a.m., reserved chairs so we could just sit out and read and watch the ocean for the day. Or we would not have had one. It's crazy. So that's just a no for me. And then, girl, why did I come back from the cruise with COVID? I know you can catch COVID anywhere. I'm a nurse. I know that. I know you can catch COVID here, there, anywhere. But I knew it would happen. Like, I am a triage nurse now, and I get these calls from people who come back from cruises with COVID, and I'm like, I know the feeling. So Matthew had a tickle in his throat our last day, but he was feeling better. As soon as we got back to Phoenix, he just was kind of just down. And then I was like, thank God I'm okay, you know, like I wasn't feeling anything. 3 days later, I woke up with the worst pain in my throat, like the worst pain I had ever felt in my throat before. I was like, what is this? It didn't feel like strep because it was like all the way down here at the base of my throat. I was like, what is this? And so I had that, and then it developed into a cough that lasted weeks. Like, when I tell you this COVID took me down for 4 weeks, where one day I just broke down and cried because I had never, that was the sickest I'd ever been in my entire life. And I've had COVID before. Like, this is not my first rodeo with COVID. So but I'd never been that sick in my life for that long. If it had lasted a week, 2 weeks, I would have like been like, okay. But it lasted 4 weeks, and I was starting a new contract on the 26th of August, and I like could barely make it through the days. I was just like so sick. I started my contract. I was like already like 3 weeks in by the time I started my contract, so I wasn't like contagious, but I just had a cough, a headache. I was tired. My muscles ached, my joints ached. Like, my body was just going through it. And so I just remember waking up and just bawling my eyes out, like just crying and like praying, like, God, please. And I'm not even a baby, but I was like, this is just too much for me. So that's why I haven't like made videos, because I had COVID, went into a new contract. We moved to a different state, you know, as we do, and got settled into a new house. And we've just been living life. We got married. So, you know, we got married and we've just been doing life. And so I haven't really had time. I'm in school. You guys may or may not know that I'm in my nurse practitioner program. So there's that. Just life has been happening. You know how it does. So I want to get back into the videos because I truly enjoy doing these. I hope this was informative, a quick overview of why I will never cruise again. I thought, oh, a Disney cruise sounds fun, take the kid. No, I'm not cruising. I'm just not cruising. It's not for me. I've done it. I can for sure say it's not for me. I don't want to do it again. So there's that. I hope this video was informative and quick. Please stay tuned for my other videos. You guys know this is, I do lifestyle, I do nursing, and I do travel videos. So I have a lot more coming because I have a couple days off. I want to just record. I'm going to record another one after this. And I hope you liked it. Thank you for tuning in to Life with the Tat, and I'll see you next time.